Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, January 14th. Were you ready for that move up yesterday? We mentioned in the morning that the strongest up days occur in certain environments, and yesterday was the perfect setup for it. We held our rotational low from our weekly plan that we posted on X and rotated through to our pivot. We were slightly short of our expected range yesterday of 80 points, with only about 70 points of range. Um, but then it finished its move all the way up to our target 5909 in Globex. So are you ready for today for PPI and what yesterday's move means? Let's go ahead and get started. Just a quick reminder that derivatives trading is inherently risky and past performance is not indicative of future returns. So if we start off with reviewing just what happened in yesterday's price action, we came down, we had a poor low in Globex, and we couldn't get down to that poor low. We held Globex value area low, and the market was rotational until after London closed. And we go over this with our students many times as to why to pay attention to that, but also what was causing yesterday's price action. And we've reviewed this with you before as well. When there is a catalyst and people have to buy insurance, that brings our downward pressure in the market. Once that's done, we see the up move for the insurance providers to make their money. So we have a metric we use, a tool to monitor this. And all that happened was everybody was buying their insurance. And once that was done, the market made its move higher to devalue those. And that has now protected those insurance sales side of the market for today's PPI, because now all of that insurance is worth substantially less than it was before. So in Globex, we opened gap up, and we still have yet to fill the gap from yesterday. So that's what we'll watch for on PPI. Our line in the sand, our minor line in the sand, is just below us at 58.73. And all we did yesterday was we held our rotational low, made our move up to our mid rotational on the weekly plan, and we're looking for 59.50 on the weekly. Today, our big level 58.73 is our minor line in the sand. Our major line in the sand is sitting up at 6,000 today. That's going to be where if we get over 59.22, where we will look for the market to really push towards ahead of CPI tomorrow. And our biggest level today above us is 59.22. That is our rotational high today. We're expecting rotational price action from 58.60 to 59.22 with our pivot at 58.90, which is right where we are right now, which also aligns with our weekly pivot. In terms of what's going on today in flows, we do have a $3 billion bid as long as we stay between 58.60 and 58.90. So this gives the market makers two options. Sell the market down as you have a willing buyer and you know where that stops. So we'll watch 58.31, or use this to push the market up on PPI as you have all of that insurance that's going to have to get closed as well. And you don't really have anything until the $7 billion sell sitting up at our target at 59.50. That's what we're looking for in terms of our flows today. Now, longer term commercials, we did get an updated COT report last night, and they covered another 25,000 contracts. So they've gone from 150,000 contracts net short down to 50,000. And we'll get an updated, and that was based on last week's data. This week's data, we will get now on Friday. That's when that should come out, and we will get an update to see if they've finally closed that short position. Market makers are in risk absorbing mode, so we are looking for higher volatility and wider ranges today. Again, with our major line in the sand sitting up at 6,000, but our minor line in the sand sitting just below us. And in terms of capital and where the cash is, there's a substantial amount of money in the hundreds of billions or more sitting on the sidelines. Our insurance funds and systematic funds are about two-thirds invested, and so are active fund managers. So there's a lot of money sitting on the sidelines ready to be deployed. And all we've done is come down right to where the election started. So we look at that because we've put this right up out for our students, but In the election cycles, that becomes a major area to watch. And that's all we did was came right down to those November lows, and then rallied from there. And again, in certain environments, the market does favor bigger moves, both up and down. So today we are looking for rotational price action, as mentioned, between 58.60 and 59.22, with our pivot at 58.90 and minor line in the sand at 58.73. If we get under 58.60, then we're going to look for our pivot at 58.30. And again, we went over why that is key today, with an end target at 58.05. If we get over 58.22, then our pivot is at 59.50, which is also our rotational high on our weekly plan. And then 59.70 is our daily expectation, but we could see that extension up towards 6,000, trying to get to neutral ahead of CPI tomorrow. So that's what we're going to look for on the ES. On the NQ, we are looking for rotational price action today, 20,880 up to 21,210. Our pivot right here is at 21,050. And if we get below our 889, our pivot is 729, which is close to yesterday's low. And our end target is 2640. If we get over 21,200, so similar to ES over that 59.50, our pivot is 21,360 with an end target of 21,458. That's for the NQ today. That gets you guys prepared. Remember that people are going to protect for CPI. Right now, they are protected. So we don't have a lot of expected positioning coming in today, expected flows coming in for more insurance, but we'll see when the data release for PPI comes out, because if that comes in hot, then we may see people panicking a little more and rushing in to buy more protection for tomorrow, which would bring that downward pressure. But if people end up over-insured, again, go back to some of the older videos and get yourself prepared for what's likely to come, as the market is just a game of flows. It's what money is coming in. Indicators are always lagging. We focus on where the money is coming in, where people are positioned, and how to capitalize on that. So have a great day out there, everybody. Stay safe trading and make sure to protect your risk.